Right here from GTR, Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. Get it big, get it here. Listen to all your live mixes, live radio programs, and live entertaining and news package programs right here from GTR, Ghana Talks Radio. GTR News. The news others choose. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello there, welcome to the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio. My name is Sandra Asante. Headlines. The Buffer Store Company has commenced investigations into alleged distribution of expired food at the Sevelugu Senior High School. 2 dead, 1 injured in war collapse in the Ashanti region. And on the international front, 60 killed in a blast at Burkina Faso gold mine. There's some more stories coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Taking you back in the day.
This is DJ Kobe Rich, the return selector. Join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. GMT for International Drive Time Show. Whether you are driving home, finishing a shift, I promise to make it an engaging and interesting one. You can also listen back by visiting our website, or why not take us into your pocket by downloading the Ghana Talks Radio app via iOS and Play Store.
GTR News.
You're most welcome back from the break to first story. The National Women's Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Dr. Hannah Louise Bisiu, has served notice she will lead the training of vigilantes ahead of the next general elections in 2024. She said the state has failed to provide security not only to political opponents but the entire citizenry, and it is time the interests of minority groups were protected. As a result, she says she will personally ensure the training of the political vigilantes to provide security in 2024. The former member of parliament for Tano South constituency warned that nobody should call us because it is about us. Speaking to the media, Dr. Bisiu said the vigilantes to be trained will serve as a bird's eye for her party to ensure that the ballots are protected in 2024. The outgoing chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, Josephine Nkrumah, will be assuming a new role as the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, ambassador to Liberia. On Monday, she appealed to the chairperson of the ECOWAS, President Akufo-Addo, for his support in the discharging of a new role when she paid him a courtesy visit at the Jubilee House to formally tender her resignation.
I think a few weeks ago, I came to see you about an offer.
GTR News.
I sought your blessings before I made a final decision on whether or not I take up that offer. You graciously gave me some wise words and asked me if I thought through what the decision I was going to make, and I said yes. Following that conversation, certain processes have gone on, and as we speak, I just offered my letter of acceptance to ECOWAS to be the ECOWAS ambassador to Liberia with a duty post in Monrovia. As the father of the land, as the appointing authority, I deem it necessary to come and see you and officially tender in my resignation, which will take effect on the 30th of April.
The news others choose.
On his part, President Akufo-Addo congratulated Madame Nkrumah on her new position, describing the news as momentous. The president urged her to give her utmost best to bring prestige to herself and Ghana. In response, Madame Josephine Nkrumah thanked President Akufo-Addo for his support and his willingness to offer counsel.
First of all, Madam Chair, you're very welcome. You're not a stranger to these premises, so it's good to have you back here again. Very momentous news. First of all, let me congratulate you. This is a job you sought, you've been given, and all the formalities are over now. Yeah, including Liberia, agreed and all of those formalities are concluded. Okay. And you received a formal appointment from ECOWAS. I see. Wow. So the first thing is it's in order.
UTR News.
Very much due. Yeah, we've been together here for the last 5 years and seen the quality of the work that you have done. I have no doubt that this is a job you're going to go and do and bring credit to yourself and to us.
Still on local stories, the Awutu Senya East Circuit Court has convicted a 43-year-old man to 6 months imprisonment for assaulting Mr. Elvis Asensu, a staff of the Kaswa South District of the Electricity Company of Ghana in the Central Region. Prosecuting Officer Chief Inspector Sylvester Agbazudan told the court that the convict Suleiman Osman is a mason who resides at Kakraba Newtown in Kaswa. According to him, on 16th February 2022 at about 10:30 a.m. The complaint, together with his team, were carrying out a routine inspection of customers' premises as part of ECD's effort to clamp down on illegal connections when they detected that the convict has connected power illegally. The complainant then decided to disconnect the power, but the convict got furious, went into his room and pulled out a cutlass and threatened to slash the complainant. Some unidentified persons came to the rescue of the complainant and took the cutlass from the complainant. The convict, not satisfied, slapped the complainant without a cause. The complainant and his team later reported the case to the Kaswa police, where he was issued a medical form for treatment at the Kaswa Polyclinic. The police later arrested the convict, and upon interrogation, he admitted the offences. He was then arraigned before court on 18th of February 2022, where he was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. Jonathan Ajagben, District Manager of the Kaswa South District of the ECG, expressed that customers should cooperate with officials of the ECG and not to be hostile towards them in the discharge of their duties. He added that this will be a deterrent to people who abuse staff of ECG, especially in their line of duty. Students of the Sevalugu Senior High School in the Northern Region on Sunday embarked on a demonstration against the management of the school over what they consider to be the poor quality of food served at the dining hall. A teacher who spoke to the media on condition of anonymity explained that the students complained they do not get enough food and the food served was of low quality. According to the students, they resorted to embark on a demonstration because they are also not allowed to go outside the school premises to get food. A student also said that they should provide them with the right food, while others said that they have been complaining about the situation for a very long time, but nothing has been done about it. The students who protested in the school to express their displeasure also complained about the quantity of food served.
And what the reason is that the students of Savage are not treated well as students are expected to be treated. And this is because the reason for the demonstration is that the way they treat us, example as our meal, the way the meal that we are taking is not enough, and they are giving us an expiring product, like the milk that you can see, and the sardine and all other aspects of the food are not well prepared, and they are not even well cooked food for the students. When they are consuming, their lives are in danger, or they are not in good health. So this one can lead them not to participate well in academic and other ways. And one more thing is that the school we are in.
Still on that Sevalugu issue, the National Food Buffer Store Company has commenced investigations into the alleged distribution of expired food at the Sevalugu Senior High School. Students of the school boycotted classes to protest the quality of meals offered them by the authorities on Monday, February 21st. They subsequently moved to the Chief's Palace to accuse school authorities of feeding them with expired milk and tin fish. Meanwhile, President of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, Angel Kabonu, has urged that the supply of food to high schools is a burden on the Buffer Stock Company, but the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the company, Hanan Abdul Wahab, has assured that all the concerns raised will be investigated. They do not rule out the possibility of the items being expired, though.
Yeah, it's the issue of cash flow, which, as I last week we have disbursed 130 million Ghana cedis to the suppliers. So the fear of headmasters of inadequate food in their stores or warehouses would be sorted out soon, because most of the chairs have cleared on Friday. So suppliers started their procurement and distribution today. Monday, we have received some signals from other parts of the country that suppliers are
The 130
and also send the invoices to Ministry of Education also in batches. So a supplier, there is 80% probability that in every batch we have suppliers representing every batch. So once we are paying a particular batch, it cuts across. So most suppliers get payment. So with this 130 million, almost all the suppliers have gotten some money to go in there and then continue with the supplies.
And so schools across the country can expect some food.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
But you say some money, it means that we still owe them.
Exactly.
How much?
The point is that I want you to, understand this. As we speak, every day invoices keep on coming because suppliers are on the ground supplying. Government will always owe supplies. That's the reality. Even when you clear the debt today, tomorrow new invoices will come. So that is how the system works, and that makes it better than reverting back to the schools where headmasters will not be able to go to the market and credit food items from the market because of what? Lack of guarantee. You understand?
Yeah. Is it true that government owes you 300 million? Or it's not true?
It's not true.
Government owes you more?
It's not true. Not more, but it's not true. But like I said, government has released 130 million Ghana cedis last week, which we have disbursed. And from now to the end of the week, you would hear,
GTR News. The news others choose.
To our next local story, 2 persons have been confirmed dead after a wall collapsed on some contractors who were working at a project site at Kromwase in the Ashanti region. 1 person is reported to have been severely injured in the accident. According to eyewitnesses, the 3 were erecting a wall at a project site when the wall collapsed on them. Although the 3 were trapped under the rubble, only 1 survived. Bystanders also commended the police for their timely intervention to save the life of the injured mason, who is currently in a critical condition. Meanwhile, the remains of the other 2 have been deposited at the morgue. Police have begun investigations into the incident. You are still tuning in and watching on Facebook the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio from the local stories and business stories. And as fuel prices rise, the Member of Parliament for Ningo Prampram, Sam Nata George, has stated that he is considering the option of riding a donkey as a means of transport. He explained that if Jesus Christ rode a donkey during his triumph entry into Jerusalem, nothing stops him from also doing so, considering the difficult times the country is currently in. Speaking to the media, the lawmaker explained that the hike in fuel prices has left him with no other choice.
Have you bought fuel today? I'm looking for donkey. To do what? Even Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, he did his triumphant entry using a donkey. Because right now, the fuel, where the fuel has gotten to, it has gotten where? Where it has gotten to.
To our next business story, Minister of the Interior Ambrose Derry has made a strong suggestion that electronic transaction levy will reduce the issues of youth unemployment in the country drastically. In an impassioned address during the government's town hall meeting on the bill on Monday, February 21st, Mr. Derry said the suggestion by the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC) for the government to rather go for extended credit facility from the International Monetary Fund (IMF) will rather worsen the unemployment situation in the country. He cited how the recent recruitment by security agencies highlighted the issues of the youth unemployment in the country. Therefore, he maintained that the introduction of the bill, popularly known as the e-levy, will provide government with the needed funds to employ more youth. He finally called on the Upper Western to embrace the e-levy for government to do more for them, especially with the expansion of road network and electricity in the country. Sharing the perspective of the NABCO saga, the MP for the Asante Central, Honorable Kennedy Ejapon, has urged government to be reasonable and stop the propaganda and pay the NABCO trainee all their allowances.
So anytime I travel and I get to airport, I get these young men and women coming to me that I should plead on their behalf that they've not been paid. The government has to pay them. You make propaganda with it. Now, when it comes to these NABCO guys, MPP now is behaving like NDC. It's a complete propaganda. If you haven't paid them, they have to pay them. Some were assimilated into the system, but not all.
TTL News.
So
the news
if
others
the government
choose.
thinks it cannot do it again, at least what is owed to them should be given to them. That's no question about it. Because nobody works for free. You know, we should be reasonable human beings. These students or workers who are employed, those who are employed, at least their transportation costs is not paid by government. They find any means necessary to get to work. So government has no excuse whatsoever to say that they are not going to pay them. Now, this is where you say I'm this and that. You get money to pay 20,000 to parliamentarians, but you don't have money to pay 2,000. Please.
TTL News. The news others choose.
About a month straight.
On the international front, at least 60 people were killed on Monday in an explosion at a market-shift gold mine in a village near Digawa in the southwest Burkina Faso. Dozen more people were injured, including women and children. It happened as explosives stored near a gold panning site blew up, local officials and witnesses said. Most of the injured people were evacuated to the Gawa Regional Hospital. A regional prosecutor who visited the scene said an investigation had been opened into the tragedy. Accidents are frequent at the unauthorized mining operations in some African countries, with safety regulations often minimal or non-existent. We move to Ethiopia, and Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed will address the country's federal government on the conflict between government forces and the Tigrayan forces in the north. It will be the first address to parliament since he won a second term in office last June. Ethiopian federal forces have been fighting forces loyal to the Tigray People's Liberation Front TPLF since November 2020. The country is also embroiled in a border row with Sudan and a dispute with Egypt and Khartoum over the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the GERD, on the Blue Nile River. On Sunday, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced the start of electricity generation from the controversial dam, prompting angry reactions from Egypt and Sudan. The two downstream countries have called for a legally binding agreement to resolve a dispute with Ethiopia. They view the dam as a threat because of their dependence on the Nile for drinking water and irrigation. A suspended top Nigerian police officer have denied allegations linking him to an international drug cartel. Abba Chari was arrested last week after being accused by the country's anti-drug agency NDLEA of working with a drug cartel operating between Nigeria, Ethiopia and Brazil. But on Monday, he told the court in the capital Abuja through his lawyers that the allegations were trumped up. The NDLEA had alleged that Mr. Chari attempted to bribe its officers to sell most of the 25 kilos of cocaine seized by his team and then share the proceeds. But he dismissed the allegations. He said he was framed by the NDLEA officers after he insisted an informant who gave a tip-off leading to the arrest of a suspected drug trafficker be compensated as initially agreed. One of his lawyers, Hamza Nuhu Dantani, told the BBC they also filed an application for his bail. He said this was because he had been detained for more than 24 hours without charge, which violated his fundamental human rights. The court will hear the bail application on Thursday. Still on international stories, U.S. President Joe Biden has agreed in principle to hold a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the crisis over Ukraine. The talks proposed by France will only take place in Russia does not invade its neighbors, the White House said. The Kremlin, meanwhile, said there were no concrete plans for a summit. It is hoped that such talks could offer a possible diplomatic solutions to one of the worst security crises in Europe in decades. U.S. officials says intelligence suggests Russia is ready to launch a military operation, which Moscow denies. The proposed summit was announced by the French presidency after two phone calls between President Emmanuel Macron and Mr. Putin, which went on for almost 3 hours in total. The second exchange happened in the early hours of Monday, Moscow time, and followed a 15-minute conversation Mr. Macron had with Mr. Biden. Mr. Macron's office said details of the possible summit will be discussed during the meeting between U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and Russia Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Thursday. In a statement that confirmed the proposal, the White House also said Russia appeared to be continuing preparations for a full-scale assault on Ukraine very soon, and that the U.S. was ready to impose swift and severe consequences should it happen. Russia has massed more than 150,000 troops close to Ukraine's borders, according to U.S. estimates. To some entertainment stories, the biggest music festival ever to take place in Bristol has been announced for this summer. Forward's new event on the city's Downs Green space will have the capacity of 60,000 over 2 days. The festival in September will be headlined by the Chemical Brothers and featured artists such as Little Sims, Jamie XS, and Safeford Mott. Forward will take place on 3rd and 4th of September, with tickets going on sales on Friday. Organizer Team Love said Forward will be a new type of city festival with an area code. The information which will feature debates about current affairs with a series of experts, writers, and artists involved. This is why I end the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching live on Facebook. You can log on to our website, www.ghanatalksradio.com, for more news updates. My name is Sandra.
This is
Asante.
Ghana
Stay tuned
Talks
for the
Radio.
Sport Tidbit.